What is the worst case of entitlement you have witnessed? I used to do wedding photography on the side to build my portfolio. My friend Jess had this cousin Heather getting married and asked if I could help her out. Heather calls me up saying their budget was super tight and could I maybe do it for exposure since I was just starting out. I hesitated because I really needed the money. But Heather goes on about how there would be tons of potential clients at the wedding and she'd make sure everyone knew I took the photos. She promised I'd keep all the rights to my pictures and wouldn't have to do crazy editing for free. I figured why not? Worst case, I get some practice and maybe a lead or two. The wedding day comes and I show up at 9 a.m. ready to work. Heather immediately starts barking orders at me like I'm her servant. Get this angle, make sure you catch my dress train, don't miss my entrance. Whatever, it's her day. But then lunch comes around and all the guests are eating this amazing spread. I'd been shooting for 4 hours straight and was starving. I politely asked one of the bridesmaids if there was a plate I could grab real quick. She looks at me like I just asked to steal the silverware. You're not a guest, you're working, be professional. I was shocked, but figured maybe it was just her being weird. So I went to Heather during a quiet moment and explained I was pretty hungry and dehydrated. Could I maybe get some water and a quick bite? Heather rolled her eyes so hard I thought they'd fall out. You're being dramatic. You knew this was part of the deal. Part of what deal? Not eating for 13 hours? I'm not a machine. By 8 p.m., I was shaking from low blood sugar. These people had been drinking and partying while I worked non-stop without even a bathroom break. When I asked for water again, Heather's new husband told me there was a gas station down the road. That's when I snapped. I calmly packed up my camera and told Heather I was done for the night. Her face went completely white. What do you mean done? The reception isn't over. You can't leave now. I explained that I'd worked 11 hours without food, water, or a single break. Professional photographers get fed and treated like human beings. But you'll ruin everything. This is my wedding day. I shrugged and walked out. The entitlement was unreal. 3 days later, my phone starts blowing up. Angry texts from Heather, her husband, her mom, even her dad, all demanding I send the photos immediately. I politely explained that since there was no payment, there would be no photos. I offered to delete them if that's what they preferred. That's when Heather lost her mind. She called me a heartless monster and said I'd ruined the most important day of her life. She threatened to post about me on social media and tell everyone what a terrible person I was. But here's where it gets crazy. 2 weeks later, I get served with papers. Heather was taking me to small claims court for emotional distress and the value of stolen memories. She wanted $3 grand. I showed up to court with screenshots of our text conversations where she confirmed this was unpaid work and just for exposure. I also brought photos of the timeline showing I worked 11 hours without food or water. The judge took one look at the evidence and dismissed her case immediately. He actually seemed annoyed that Heather had wasted the court's time.